Okay. Let's do this. Hey guys, Logan, aka Nova here. I just want to let you guys know that I'm gonna take a little break from music production for a little while. So you guys might not know this at all, but I used to run another YouTube channel called Heretic. It's Logan Smith now, but I used to go by the name Heretic on there. I have been doing music production since March of 2022. Uh, and it all kind of started with Pagefire. Like the first thing that got me into being like, hey, let's make some crazy shit was Pagefire's How to Make Gore Noise video. So yeah, I started with noise music. And it was fucking hilarious. It was really fun doing that shit. I even showed my brother it, and we both had huge laughs during the whole process. I made like 4 noise albums. Yeah, 4 noise albums before September of that year. So from March to September, I already made 4 albums, which is very easy to do in noise. All you gotta do is just make some crazy shit that's like 30 seconds, copy and paste it multiple times, and boom, you got an album. So it wasn't really that bad. But it did strain me a little bit because I made the first 2 albums I made were made within a couple days from each other. Oh shit. oh, I remember this like it was fucking yesterday. But anyways, those ones I haven't re-uploaded. I can't even find them actually because I deleted them shortly after because they were just so stupid. But yeah, September of the same year though, I started trying to be like, okay, let's try to make some genuinely decent music. And the first song I ever made was called Mecha Showdown. It was excuse me. First song I ever made as like normal music was Mecha Showdown. It was a song heavily inspired by the Sonic the Hedgehog games because at the time I was really interested in making video game style music. Just it would have been awesome to make a soundtrack for a video game, etc. So I made Mecha Showdown, showed it to a couple of my coworkers at work. I worked at McDonald's at the time, and some of the people I worked with were people I went to school with. And one of my friends was just like, dude, this is fucking awesome. Like, encouraging me to get it onto platforms and shit. And then I made another song, Enter the Dragon's Lair, which isn't uploaded anywhere besides YouTube. It's a fairly simple track. But then I made a song called Cosmic Bliss, which was a lot more of like a Marshmallow type vibe in terms of the structure, where it's melodic, very atmospheric, I guess, but it's like a chill step EDM type track. I made that one in, I want to say I made that and Mecha Showdown and Enter the Dragon's Lair all in September, with very little time in between those songs in terms of breaks, because at that point I was just like super inspired to just make. And I made another track called High Velocity Kicker. That one was more along the lines of a video game song, kind of like Mecha Showdown was. And then I had an idea to make an EP, and that never happened. Yeah, it just never happened. And then I started uploading stuff to SoundCloud, Apple Music, etc. And then I made a song called Ascension. That one was more of an actual like bro step style song. My first time ever doing that, actually. But then I got an audio interface, the iRig, for my iPhone, because I was using GarageBand at the time on my iPhone because I was a broke ass bitch. But I got the iRig and made a metal track. It was my first time doing metal, and I loved it. Like every song I had written, whether it was noise, electronic, or metal, I loved doing it. I loved the process of making a song. It felt just so beautiful, you know? The beauty of creativity, man. Um oh, what else? What else? So, after making that metal track though, I started hitting a rock a bit where I could tell that if I didn't take some kind of break in between songs that I would burn myself out. Got to the point where I wasn't writing a song for it was like every month I was making a new song. After I made the first song I made was Beyond Creation. That was the first metal song I made in February of 2023. So it was a bit of a break before I made another song. And then after that, I made one last bro step style song. It was called Blunderbass, a pirate themed dubstep track. Then I took another little break from music and started using BandLab. I started learning how BandLab works. Made one song on it at first called Firebase. Never released it. Actually, I lost the file to it like forever ago. This was 2023. Wow, I can't believe that was 2 years ago. Holy shit. Time flies. Time fucking flies, man. But anyways, I immediately was like, why don't I try making some metal music on here? Like, I know this is more of a beat maker, but I feel like I can make some metal on here. I ended up making some pretty decent sounding metal songs. I still never knew what mastering was. I only mixed my stuff. So yeah, all of my shit that I make, all of the music I make is mixed and mastered by me. Well, only recently being mastered because everything else was just a mix because I didn't know what mastering was. But I made a song called Architect of War. And then shortly after, like very shortly after, I didn't even take a break really, but I made another song called Leviathan, which Leviathan's probably one of my personal favorite tracks I've ever written. I felt it was definitely a song that made me feel like I was getting better at guitar at the time. Because I've been playing guitar since 2018. This Christmas, it'll be 7 years since I've started guitar, which baffles the fuck out of me. I remember when I first started, and the first thing I ever learned was Before I Forget by Slipknot. Anyways, I made the song Leviathan. Actually, I made that one before Architect of War. I took about a couple weeks or so, and then made Architect of War, and then wrote Hellhound, like, not even a week later, because I had a fire going. And then I wrote the song Alpha Omega, which is another one of my personal favorites that I've written. I wrote that one about a month later, because I wanted to give myself some kind of a break. And then I planned out an EP called just the Architect of War EP. I had a fifth song I wanted to write called Iron Fist. And at the time I needed to take a break though before doing that, which I did. I did end up taking quite a bit of a break before writing another metal track, but in that time I also was making more noise for my noise project Nuclear Carcass. I didn't make any dubstep after Firebase, so it was mostly metal stuff. I wrote a couple funny slam songs and gore grind songs on BandLab as well, because I was trying to take a break from normal metal, so I was like, you know what? Let's write funny slam stuff. I really shouldn't have done that. I really should have just taken a fucking break from everything. Then I wrote the song Iron Fist, and besides the mix and master being way too loud and treble heavy, I think it turned out as one of my personal like, I feel like with each metal song I made, it was like, oh, I really like this one. Now I really like this one. It's like, I feel like I could tell I was kind of improving on the structure and my sound. Iron Fist was a good one for me. That it was the first time I had ever shown. Actually, not the first time. The first time I ever showed my parents my music was with Beyond Creation, which was like a gent style song. But then I showed my dad Iron Fist, and I told him I had other music in the same style, and put that all together on a CD for him and everything, and had my cousins listen to it too, and they were floored. You know, it was awesome. So I took a bit of a break after that one. Oh, what song did I make next? See, it's hard remembering how many songs I've done. I did make a song called Rain Fire after that one. That one's not uploaded anywhere. I might even remake it at some point in the future. Because it's another track that I was like, man, this is a really fun, heavy track. It had a good, like, a type of energy, you know, just a pumping energy. So I took a little break again. Made in about December or November or December of 2023. No, 2024. So last year. I had made a song called Memento Mori, which was a gent song. I feel like I had the same energy with it as I did with Leviathan, in the sense of just I felt like I improved even more at guitar with that one, because that one had a lot of riffs that I really had to sit down and like really fucking learn how to play it before I actually recorded it. Like, I know you're supposed to just learn a riff before you record it, but for that one, a lot of the riffs were really hard for me to learn, but I still managed to pull through and make them, because I really because they were good riffs. I'm not gonna just throw those away. So at the end of the year, I uploaded like a compilation type album of some of my songs, including a couple other ones that I hadn't uploaded to a single EP. Like, I had a song called Sentinel, which was another gent style song. What was all on that compilation? Oh, and Centuries of Centuries. That was another gent song that I made. I really loved the Centuries of Centuries one and Sentinel. Those ones were a couple of my favorites as well. So yeah, then I took a break. Like a quite a bit of a break, actually, after making Memento Mori. I did make a couple bro step tracks on BandLab, but they were mostly with samples and shit. So, you know, within a week, I wrote 2 bro step songs. And then I took another pretty decent break, like about a month fucking break, and then made a new song. I got my 8-string guitar when this happened, but I made a song called Figure 8. It was the first 8-string song I had ever made. And then I made the song Eternal Void, and then Unleashed. So each one of those was a month apart from each other. because I really needed to slow my roll in terms of production. Also, I had kind of stopped making noise at this point. What's next? Oh yeah, and then the final song that I made on BandLab, the very last song I ever made before I switched to a better DAW, was called Nova. All these songs had the structure of a modern metal song, but the riffs in them, man, that was almost a year ago now when I wrote that. Holy shit. Because I finished when I wrote Nova, I finished my first ever actual EP. And I'll tell you, I loved the way it turned out. The title track and Figure 8 were probably my favorites that I wrote on there. Unleashed was good. Eternal Void was very Doom inspired, but I still loved it. It showed me how much really low tunings on 8 strings can be really fun. You don't need to go all chaotic, crazy notes every 2 seconds. You could just make simple, fun riffs. So after that, I took quite a bit of a break from production, like a couple months or so, and then started using Ableton. I started learning how to use that. And then that's when I started thinking of the whole idea of what if I mixed metal and dubstep, making a dubstep song with metal instruments. So I made the song Metal Step for my Heretic stuff. And then that's when I made that, and then I made the song Blackout. Those 2 songs are when I stopped music production for Heretic. And then that's when I was like, what if I rebrand myself with the name Nova, and do the metal dubstep mixture stuff? So that's when I formed this channel, and made the EP Rain, and then started dabbling more into actual dubstep sound design, which is specifically when I started making the songs Riot Crew and Lock and Load. Those songs were more like of a bro steppy vibe. And then I made Into the Fire, Domain, Inorganic. Those are songs that aren't on here on YouTube, but they're on like Bandcamp and Newgrounds and stuff. And then I actually stopped making metal altogether and just started doing dubstep EDM stuff, which was good. I thought it was nice to take a little break from metal for a minute. But after making this EP took me a month, which should have taken me a lot longer because of, the fact that I should have taken longer breaks. So it really made me realize I need to stop making music for a minute. I'll still play my guitar. I'll still make, cool ass riffs on this beast of a guitar right here. But in terms of actual songwriting, production and stuff, you won't be seeing that from me for a little while. I need to focus on my brain and my health. I really need to, because at the rate I was making shit and producing was not healthy in the slightest. It was not a good rate to go at. Also, if you guys haven't realized, I have not spliced any part of this video. So this is all unedited, all unscripted. This is coming from the heart. That really hurt. But recently I'd started feeling inspired to make guitar riffs again, because of Nick Nocturnal returning back to music, which I can't even tell you how much I wanted to cry. Nick Nocturnal and like Andrew Bana, Jared Dine, Stevie T, those are all the guys I started with. When I started guitar, those are like the first YouTubers I geared towards in terms of like learning the genres, learning memes in the community, learning about different bands, seeing new music. Like, if it wasn't for Nick Nocturnal, I wouldn't know Slaughter to Prevail, The Browning, Spirit Box, Sleep Token. Yeah, if I didn't listen to Jared Dines, I wouldn't have known about, like, I wouldn't have really looked up Kill Switch Engage, As I Lay Dying, Thy Art is Murder. Like, all those bands that people have known for years, I'm just now finding out about, you know, in the last 7 years. I'm like so enthralled in just how much music is out there. And it's because of those guys. And that's what, like, it kind of inspired me to pick up my guitar again and start playing again. Because, like, another thing that made me stop playing was I felt like I was becoming way too self-conscious and, like, being way too hard on myself for, like, oh, this riff sucks, this riff's too simple, and blah, blah, blah. I was in a really fucked up headspace of just rushing to make something. And it really made me start to take things slow, and I need to start relaxing. I need to start just chilling out. So yeah, I'm done with music production for now. Next year I might make a song to come back and stuff, you know. Not like Corey Feldman. No, not that type of comeback thing. No, but you guys will see videos from me, like guitar videos and not guitar reactions. See, this is what I mean by uncut, unedited, okay? You're gonna see me fuck up saying shit all the time. But like guitar covers and stuff. Maybe some reactions to newer music, newer dubstep music, metal music, etc. What else? What else are you gonna see? I don't know. We'll just see when we get there. I want to thank you all guys so much for the support that, like, you. I'm about to lose my words here. I want to thank you guys seriously for all the support through my Nova stuff, Heretic, Nuclear Carcass, all of that, everything. I think if it wasn't for the few comments I've gotten over the years saying, like, man, this riff is awesome, this song is awesome, you keep going at it, do what you do, like, those types of comments made me want to go more and do more. But yeah, I think you guys will definitely see a change on this YouTube channel not for a little while. I hope it's a permanent change for the better and for my health. Plus, I feel like it would get pretty annoying to be like, oh, he's got a new video today and tomorrow and the next day. I want to try to do like maybe one video per week, just a small video per week. So yeah, my new EP, Bassquake, that's gonna be on all platforms this coming Friday. Yeah, this coming Friday. It's gonna be on all platforms. It's gonna be on here on YouTube, Bandcamp, Newgrounds, Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon Music, iTunes, wherever the hell you get your music, wherever you listen to your music. It's gonna be available everywhere. So listen to it, download it through Newgrounds if you want to. I hope to see you guys in the next video that I make. Thank you all so much. I love all of you. I'm going to post this on my Heretic channel as well because I still have access to it, obviously. That'll be the first video I've made in a long time on that channel. Because I've been doing this Nova stuff since like August or July or so. So it's been a minute since I've uploaded any music on there too. So yeah. Hope to see you guys in the future. Love you guys. Have a very Merry Christmas. Peace.